Take that.
I'm not going to be here tomorrow.
Of course. And why?
Alright.
No, I'm not. I'm going.
She got married.
None of his siblings were here.
Alright.
My sister's wife is in the wedding.
Brenna, we're all happy for you.
I know.
We'll be back. Alright, so few things on the agenda. We have gosh, what's today's date? 12, thank you. So today we are pretty much finishing. Tomorrow we will have a little bit of a review for the test we'll have Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week we will be reviewing for finals. But Wednesday we have the district algebra assessment, which we will use on Chromebooks. And I think what we're going to do is it'll be worth a certain amount of points. I think there's 30 questions on it. Some that you'll do very well with. Some of you will be like, Mr. Strupp, I've never seen this before. And I know. Some of them are rearranged the order so you've actually seen that. So you guys have a pretty good advantage over some other classes because of the stuff we worked on in Schoology. So you can't, God bless you. You can't see this yet. Bless you again. You can't see it yet. I think if you were to log on to Schoology right now, you would see that it is there, but it would be unavailable. I just pushed it out to you guys and made it available for Wednesday next week during this class time. So we will do that, and I think how I'm going to do it is I'm just going to pick an arbitrary value. I don't know what the value is, but let's say there's 30 questions on the test, and I realize that you all did, let's say we did this. I'm going to talk to the other classes, see how they did, and then let's say the average score comes out to a 7. So then I would make it out of 7 points, and then if you got above 7, you get extra credit. See how that works? So it's in your best interest to do your best you can, and I think you guys will do better than other CP Algebra 1 classes because, again, we had done stuff on Schoology, and we had done stuff that was similar to some of these problems and how they were asked. So you will have the knowledge of how to do it. And if you happen to miss that day, seriously, you're supposed to be at school. It's almost the end of the year. There's not like we have months to make stuff up. So that's what I have tentatively coming up. Then Thursday will be, next week will be review. And then we will have Friday, we'll have the free response part of our final exam, that's 5:20, and then 5:23, which is the Monday, we will actually have our final exam in this class. So, like a plan? So we've been talking about linear, exponential, and quadratic functions. So a linear function, what can you tell me about a linear function and the rate of change? It's constant. What's the rate of change also known as? Slope. Good. So just because I switch from a straight line to a parabola or a quadratic, does rate of change still mean slope on that? Yes, it does. Okay? Does the rate of change and the slope change on parabolas? It actually, half of them will be negative and half of them will be positive because you have the lines coming down, then you have the lines going up, or you have the lines going up and then the lines going down. On a exponential function, the slope itself is going to change as well. So the rate of change changes on the slope between two different x values. And again, it's the slope equation. You've used the slope equation over and over and over again, and it's something that it should be embedded with you. If it's not, we will, make sure that you do know it. I don't want you sitting there on a test going, I don't remember what rate of change was. Find the slope, and then I walk back 5 minutes later, you're drawing a palm tree with a guy sitting on a beach, and you've missed it. So just let's make sure we know that. So I have a small activity today. It's one of those cutesy things. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we had groups of 4. We don't get there yet, but groups of 4. So up to groups of 4. So I would say 3 or 4 in a group would be awesome. So get yourselves into that group, and we will get you this information. Group, hush up. In that little group of papers that's in that group, you're going to have 9 different graphs. So some of them are exponential, some of them are linear, some of them are quadratic. Okay? Then you will also have 9 slips of paper that will be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And then you will have Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So the letters are all in parentheses. So these will all be in parentheses like this. So you'll know that these are the letters like that. The reason I say that is because there is an I, and technically this would look the same as this, but this one's in parentheses, so it's called letters. So I need you to arrange your graphs to the letters to the Roman numerals. Make sense? Just a matching thing. Got it? You have 6 minutes. Go. And if you want, you can do it on the floor. You can sit on the floor and do it. I want to go through this activity as using the graphs first, and then let's see if we can generate some stuff. So this very first graph here, things that I know, it's exponential. Agree? It appears that it crosses the y-axis at 0, 4. I would say we have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. It's continuously increasing. The domain goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. The range goes from 0, rounded bracket, up to infinity. So rounded is different than square bracket. So that's what I know about this one. Okay? So the first graph went along with graph 1, went along with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, or I. What did it go with? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. F? Anyone else have something different? And then Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 9. VI? Okay, so let me just take a look at what it says. So the claim is 1 went with F. F says the average rate of change from 0 to 1 is 4. So from 0 to 1 is 4. 0 is at 4, 1 is at... Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. If you found the slope of that point, you find it to be 4. And then VI, the average rate of change will change from negative to positive. Average rate of change will change from negative to positive. The rate of change on this entire graph is going to be positive. So it's not VI. We have a different choice on that.
Sophia, get off your phone.
Tattletale.
Everyone's
What else did, which Roman numeral we go with? Let's see, Roman numeral 1 says as x gets larger, so as I go this direction, the average rate of change gets larger, means it gets steeper. No? It's going, so think of my arm as the line. I think I is the answer. I think it's Roman numeral I. That makes sense? Because that just basically means as I go further to the right in the x direction, my slope becomes steeper and steeper and steeper, which becomes faster rise and a lesser run. Okay, so that we get a lesser run. All right? All right. Graph number 2. Graph number 2. It's a parabola. I know that. It doesn't have any real roots because it does not cross the x-axis. My a value happens to be negative. My domain will go from negative infinity to positive infinity. My range will go from square bracket -2 to negative infinity. They also might have it listed as negative infinity to -2 square bracket. So what do we think? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A? So an A answer. Okay, let's take a look. A says the vertex is at 1, -2. Absolutely. That is 100% true. I like it. What about Roman numerals? V? Let's see. The y-intercept is at 0, -3. Agreed. And the average rate of change is not constant. Average rate of change being constant would be what kind of thing? Linear. This is not linear. I think V works.
And way.
And what? Graph number 3. Graph number 3. It is exponential decay. Things that we know, it is crossing the y-axis at 0, 2. We have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. It's decaying, so as I go to the right in the x direction, so as x gets better, it goes from almost a vertical line to almost a horizontal line. So that would mean that the slope is always negative, and it's getting to be like a lesser value. So does that fit with anything? So what do we know about number 3? Which letter? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. I. Y-intercept 0, 2, and always decreasing. I agree. Which Roman numeral? Which one? Anybody?
I think
Anybody?
it's VII.
VII.
Yes.
Horizontal asymptote, y equals 1. It goes through the point 1, 1. Absolutely. Good deal. Graph number 4. Let's move up. Let's move up a little bit. Graph number 4 is indeed a parabola. It doesn't have any real solutions because it doesn't cross what? The x-axis. The vertex happens to be at 1, 1. The domain goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. The range would go from square bracket 1 to positive infinity, or just infinity. So graph number 4 goes with what? What letter? H. Has no roots. I like it. And then what Roman numeral? IV. Vertex is at 1, 1. Sweet. Graph number 5. It is exponential decay. It goes to the point 0, 4. The horizontal asymptote would be y equals 0. As x gets larger, the slope is decreasing more and more. It's negative slope throughout. So number 5 goes with what letter?
E.
E. Y-intercept is 0, 4 and is always decreasing. I'll go with E. Which Roman numeral?
IX.
IX. Always decreasing with a range.
No, wait, no.
II. The range goes from 0 to infinity, goes through 1, negative 1/8. Yeah. Stick with me. Come on, guys and girls. This is very much how you're going to see stuff on the test, so you need to be able to use that critical thinking. We have a parabola for the sixth graph. Just doesn't all show up. It has a vertex at 1, negative 1. It has a domain of negative to positive infinity. It has a range from square bracket negative 1 to infinity. So what letter? D?
G.
I'm sorry?
G.
G. Roots are 0. Oh, yeah, it definitely has roots. Crosses the x-axis. What Roman numeral? VI? The average rate of change will change from negative to positive. I agree. Yeah. Because you have negative slope all the way coming down, and then it goes to positive slope. Good deal. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Where's the blue?
Oh, we finally get to linear. Number 7. Number 7. It's a line. D, you said? Average rate of change is always negative 1/3. Negative. This has got a positive slope. C. Average rate of change is always 3. Yep. That's it. Which Roman numeral? 3. Increasing. Negative, infinity, positive. Has a y-intercept of 0. Negative 2. Yeah. Number 8. Parabola has a vertex at 1, 3. What do you think? B. Ranges from square bracket 3 to infinity. Absolutely. Roman numeral. V. VIII. Decreases from negative infinity to 1. And the y-intercept is 0,5. Yeah, that works. And then number 9, which letters did we not use?
D.
Did we not use D? We didn't use D. What does D say? Average rate of change negative 1/3. Yes, I agree. And then which Roman numeral? 1. IX. Always decreasing with a range of negative infinity, positive infinity. Love it. Awesome, awesome job, everybody. We have a. I think I want to do the review over today and tomorrow. Is anyone going to lose sleep over that? Okay. If you lose sleep over it, get over it.
You're gonna cry.
So, I would like you to work on. And just the reason why I do it over 2 days is it seems kind of extensive. So our review is going to start on. So it's number 7. It's the review, and it goes from page 153 all the way through to 157. So this let's make this due at the end of class tomorrow. What do you think? We get it done today? Dude. And then tomorrow I will also hand out a take-home portion of the test, which goes along with the review, and then we will have the test on Monday. Sound like a deal? Everyone happy?
Yeah.